This passage from Act 3, Scene 2 from William Shakespeare's version of Venice. William Shakespeare uses various kinds of literary devices to effectively express the speaker's emotion. To begin with, I would like to point out this sentence, away then, I'm locked in one of them. The word locked kind of indicates that she wants Bassanio to choose the right casket, and this relates to idea of freeing her from the casket that locks her. And then I want to point out this repetition of word music. Though they are same word, but they're used in different situations, which creates contradicting atmosphere within different sections. So in this section, when Portia imagines if Bassanio chooses the wrong casket, she says that music will be fading in and you'll be sad. But however, when she imagines if Bassanio chooses the right casket, she says that music is even as a flourish when two subjects bow to a new crown monarch. So there's obviously a kind of tone of victory, and then how music will be full of triumph. Then I'd like to talk about this interesting lyric devices where she says, then if he lose, he makes a swan-like end. And few sentences later, she says, my eye shall be the stream, and worry deathbed for him. Well, first of all, I want to say how she cleverly connects with my eye shall be the stream and swan. So this shows that she will be anything for the swan, which in this case is Bassanio. She'll be willing to do anything for Bassanio. And also this sentence is a hyperbole, which means she exaggerates her emotion, and this is effective because it amplifies her emotion of grief, which is very helpful for the readers to identify Portia's feelings. And after that, she makes several comparisons between Bassanio and certain subjects. Well, this is one example where she says to a new crown monarch. So this obviously have a very loyal tone and positive tone. And then to continue, she says, such it is as are those delicate sounds in break of day. So delicate sound means sound of sweet and soothing. So again, there's a positive connotation which reinforces Portia's positive feeling towards Bassanio. And then she says, as are those delicate sounds in break of day that creep into the dreaming bridegroom's ear. This is a personification where sound doesn't actually creep into our ear, but by saying this, it creates a vivid imagery that helps reader to understand even better about Portia's feeling. Then she makes some allusion to Heracles. And for example, she says, then young Alcides, when he did redeem the virgin tribute paid by howling Troy to the sea monster. So in this case, she is saying, just like how Hercules saved the princess from the sea monsters, she hopes that Bassanio will free her from the casket. The reason why she is comparing Hercules to Bassanio is obviously Hercules is famous for being heroic and contains all the good characteristic of man. And then the next sentence she says, I stand for sacrifice. The word sacrifice creates a very desperate tone for Bassanio, and we often use sacrifice for a good cause, so there's obviously a meaning that Portia is willing to do anything for Bassanio. And few sentences later at line 60, she says, go Hercules, live though I live. So there's again allusion where she calls Bassanio Hercules, and then there's a desperate tone when she says, live thou I live, which basically means if you live then I live. So this again indicates that she thinks that her life will be miserable without Bassanio. And the last sentence she says, with much more dismay I view the fight than thou that makes the fray. So there's a repetition of much more, and it emphasizes her desire for Bassanio again. So overall, I think the main idea of this passage is how Portia can be a devoted lover when she falls in love with certain men. And also throughout this passage we can see her cleverness by using effective literary devices. And lastly, I I also think that this passage shows how responsible is Portia, because even though she deeply falls in love with Bassanio, she doesn't instantly marry with him, but still decides to follow her father's death wish and follow the procedure. And that's it. Thank you.